Om Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tama Gocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmiham. We are studying Sri Shankaracharya's Viveka Chudamani. In the last occasion, we studied up to Shloka 291. And in Shloka 267, Jnate Vastuni Api Balavati Vasana. Jnate Vastuni was the expression. And I told you that the translation realized is wrong. Now this knowledge has various grades. Information, of course, is not called knowledge at all. Conviction, some people think is knowledge. That may also not be knowledge. Conception, you can say, is the beginning of knowledge. In our language, dharana. Dharana or conception is the beginning of knowledge. And then we do dhyanam. Meditation or in Vedantic language, nididhyasan. In nididhyasan, we can feel Brahman, but so many other things are also intervening. And we have been asked to hold fast to that feeling of Brahman and remove everything from our consciousness. That is nididhyasa. It is not ordinary meditation, it is nididhyasa. Now, slowly, it becomes more continuous. Slowly, it gathers strength. Slowly, it becomes fully continuous. Slowly, it ripens. All this is up to the Advaita Vritti in the mind. And when this Advaita Vritti has become fully continuous, then there arises two things. One is the joy of experiencing oneself as Brahman, the pain that though it is there, I have not yet fully realized. This is called the Anandamaya Kosha. And then a flash comes. It can be only described as a flash. And that flash tells us that this reflection which I am seeing in my vritti is nothing but Brahman. I, though I do not appear there, but I is there, present as the experiencer of that vritti. But actually this I has no separate existence other than Brahman. And the seeing, the vritti, the wave, is also a form of that Brahman. When these three are not separate from Brahman, a flash comes. And then these three vanish in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and then only we really know or realize. So this knowledge has several grades. For example, in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, in answer to Kahol's question about the experience of the Sakshat Aparukshat Brahma, Yajnavalkya is telling him that first when this knowledge comes, the first response or reaction is desires go away and the man takes to the begging bowl. Man becomes a sannyasi, you may say, man takes to the begging bowl. And then the knowledge comes little more depth, you may say. The knowledge enters, and then a man becomes Pandita. The meaning of Pandita is not a scholar there. The meaning of Panda is Atma Vishaya Buddhi, that Aham Brahmasmi. When that first comes, then it agitates the mind. Any new experience agitates the mind. Then, with the help of his Vairagya and his desire for knowledge or mukti, liberation, he digests that agitation produced by Panditya. And when that is digested, then that means the knowledge has gone a little more deeper, and then he gets Balya. Balya has two meanings, Balabhav and Balakir Bhav. Both are called Balya. Balabhav means he becomes strong, cannot fall for temptations. Balya Bhav means he loses his ego. His ego becomes down, and so that is the result of knowledge having entered a little more. This Balya Bhav or this Bala also agitates the mind first time when it comes. But then the knowledge comes deeper, it becomes more naturalized. This Balya or Balak Bhav is digested in a way, and then comes Mauna. Mauna is, you might say, Dhyana Parata or Samadhi Parata. And this Mauna includes a Mauna. That means there may be Samadhi Parata, but inside some Chanchalya is still there, and that agitates the mind. When that is digested by the knowledge entering deeper, then the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad or Yajnavalkya tells, then he becomes a Brahmana. The whole thing started by telling a Brahmana getting knowledge like this. And then how he becomes a Brahmana now? Yajnavalkya said that was Upacharita Brahmana. That was only Brahmana in name. Now he has become the real Brahman. The meaning is Brahma Janati Brahmana. Then we ask, then what happens? Then Yajnavalkya says, then as he lives, so he lives. Neither bandhana nor any rules. That is the state of full knowledge. So, one example I have given from Brihadaranyaka, the very question presupposes some knowledge. Yat sakshat aparokshat brahma tanme bruhi, Paul had asked. So, this knowledge has degrees. In Sri Krishna, a beautiful example is given. You know, it starts from conception, conceptual knowledge. This word conception is also used for a woman becoming pregnant. She has conceived a child. And Ramakrishna says, as the child grows in her womb, that means experience is growing. Her mother-in-law, old Indian style families, please. Her mother-in-law goes on reducing her work. The meaning is that the karma tendency gets reduced, more and more reduced. And when the time of delivery comes, near about that, all the works are stopped from her. That is the Nirvikala Samadhi. And then he continues telling, when the child is born, she spends her time with child only. So, there, Atmarati, Atmakrida, Atmamithuna, etc. That is the whole history. So, now let me tell a joke on this matter. When Winston Churchill was the Prime Minister of England, one of his ministers was to speak about certain projects or ideas. And Winston Churchill presiding, and the minister was to speak. And the minister said, I conceive, but somehow he could not proceed. So with a pause, he again says, I conceive, but did not proceed. Third time he says, I conceive. Then Winston Churchill intervenes and says, my friend has conceived thrice, but not delivered even once. That is a joke. But to make our mind light, I use that conception. Conceptual knowledge is the start of knowledge. And then so many stages we have seen. Nididhyasana we have seen. Advaita Vritti we have seen, the way of the mind telling us that I am Brahman. All this Shankaracharya will use much later to distinguish between Jivan Mukta, Jnananishta, and who has to experience Prarabdha and who does not have to experience Prarabdha. In that matter, he will refer to that again. At present, he is again and again telling in different words, Swadhyasa Apanayan Kuru, remove the superimposition, or Vilapaya. So, he used another expression that all the seen things, you should drown them in your experience of Brahman. Vilapaya Brahmani Vishwajatam Tattvamasi Drishtva Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. So, this is the main point in Vivek Chudamani. Otherwise, we have not understood the spirit of Vivek Chudamani. So, it will go on and go on, and the Nirvikalpa Samadhi will be described in shlokas 408, 9, 10. We are still in 290. We are still to cross 100 shlokas. So, the Jnana Nishtayati, that means one who has experience which has not yet culminated, his lakshanas, his characteristics are 90% same with the man of knowledge. That creates another confusion, but where the distinction is to be shown, it is shown. Otherwise, that is similar to the man of knowledge. And that is the phase through which we are passing in our study of Viveka Chudamani. Then there should be no doubt how the Jnate Vastuni appear, how that Anadiresha. So the old sanskaras do not die so quickly. And for the old sanskaras to go, we have to repeat our knowledge, we have to make it continuous, we have to make it firm, we have to again and again. We may be even required to listen again. So Shravan Manan Nidhasan can go on, or if we are advanced enough, Shravan Manan might be over, Nidhasan continues till we really realize it. Now, I think this is enough now. What happens in Nirvikal Samadhi, why it is required, that is becomes another topic. I may tell you in short that the world is unreal, that Brahman itself appears as this world. We have heard, we have conceived, we have become convinced. We get glimpse of that in our thought. But unless we directly see that the world has vanished, it does not really vanish. The world, we have to see that the world has vanished. Once we see that, then the doubt will vanish forever. And then no question of it is a relapse and all that. So now it is appearing like relapse because it has not yet been achieved. And so that is the stage through which we are passing. Now let us continue and read to Shloka 292. That was the essential bhumika for the portion we are studying. Unless we are confused, what is this? We have realized? No, we have not realized. You have known it to some degree. Yat Satyabhutam Nijarupa Madhyam चिदद्वयानन्दमरूपमक्रियम् तदेत्य मिथ्या वपुरुत्सृजेत शैलूषवद्वेषमुपात्तमात्मना निज रूपम आद्यम, our original root, not that beginning and now changing, no, original root, real root, that which is real, that is Chaitanya, one without a second, bliss, and without any doership or modification. Tad etya, mithya vapuhu utsrujeta. When we come to that, then this body, which is unreal, should be given up. Shailushavat, that is, the actor has put upon a dress and then he gives up that dress to use his original dress. Like that, this Upadhi appearance of I should be given up and we should go to the Adya Rupa, which is Brahman itself. सर्वात्मना दृश्यमिदं ऋषैव नैवाह मर्था क्षणिकत्व दर्शनात् जानाम्यहं सर्वमिति प्रतीतिः कुतोऽहमादे क्षणिकस्य सिद्धे दृश्यमिदं सर्वात्मना मृषा एव. This world which is seen is totally unreal from all sides. Naiva aham artha, neither is this I real. This I is meaningless. Kshanikatva darshana, because the drishya is changing continuously, this I is changing continuously. Observing this changefulness, one should know that they have no meaning, they are unreal. And a feeling is coming, I know all. Now this I, which is based upon body and mind, cannot know all. So if that feeling is coming, it belongs to a different region. Aham ade, that means myself, my buddhi, my mind, etc., is itself temporary, kshanika. How the feeling of I know all can come there? So the feeling I know all, if it is coming, know that that is not the real genuine feeling. Some reactive feeling has come because this I is changing every moment, so it cannot know all. Aham padarthastvamadi sakshi nityam sushuptau apibhava darshanat brute yajo nityiti shruti swayam tad pratyagatma sadasad vilakshana. Aham padartha, the real meaning of the word I. We have seen Tattvamasi. So there the Tvam is Aham. The real meaning of the word Aham is Aham Adi Sakshi. That means this Aham, ego, and other functions of the mind, the real I knows. The real I does not change and it knows, it is aware of this ego and other functions of the mind. That Aham, real Aham is Nitya. Even in sleep, deep sleep, it does not go away. Let us remember here the memory of the deep sleep. I knew nothing. We are referred to it. I asked you to write down also. I knew nothing. I slept happily. So I is definitely there. In memory, it comes again. Knowledge is there, but nothing is there to be known. I slept means my indriyas were not working, my mind was not working. There. So, even in the deep sleep, that I does not go, but it is not this I of the waking state, it has gone. As soon as we sleep, this I of the waking state has vanished. I of the dream may be different I, and that also vanishes when we go to the deep sleep. So that is not this I, and yet I does not go. So we have seen the two different phases of I, the real I which never goes, and this temporary I which goes every day. Nityam sushupto api bhava darshana. The positive existence is seen even in deep sleep. And Shruti or the Vedanta is also telling that it is unborn, it is absolutely Nitya. Unborn, so Nitya. This is what Shruti herself is telling. Brute hi ajo nitya iti Shruti swayam tat pratyagatma. That is the innermost reality. Sad asad vilakshana. That means the gross things are called Sat, the subtle things are called Asat here, and it is different from both of them because it has gone, we have transcended all this, and so that is the real nature which is neither gross nor subtle. Vikarinam sarva vikara vetta nitya vikaro bhavitum samarhati मनोरथ स्वप्न सुषुप्ति सुस्फुटम पुनर्दृष्टम सत्वमेतयो vikarina, those things which are changing. Body, indriyas, mind, ego, they are always changing. And who knows they are changing? The real self. Sarva vikara vetta, nitya avikaro, bhavitam arati. That is inferential logic that it must be an eternal and which does not undergo modification. Eternal, which does not undergo modification, is my real nature. It knows all the modifications of the things which can be modified. Swapna sushuptishu manoratha. The mind travels in dream or in deep sleep. Sputam, it is clear. Puna puna drishtam asatvam etayam. And that I in the waking deep sleep, that I in the dream state, when we get up, that I has gone. So again and again we have seen that that is unreal. Manoratha, it is only a dream, it is only a kalpana of the mind. Ato bhimanam taja mamsa pinde, pinda bhimani napi buddhi kalpite, kalatraya bhadyamakhanda bodham, jnatva samatma namupaihi shantim. Therefore, in this Mamsa Pinda, the body is Mamsa Pinda, Abhimanam Teja, give the feeling of I am this. Pindanam Anini Api Buddhi Kalpite. This I, which is the Abhimani of this Pinda, is only a thought in the mind. It is only an idea in the mind. The real I is beyond the three divisions of time. It is unbroken consciousness. If we can know that, knowing that from Atmanam Upaihi, you reach your real Atman, Shantim, and that will be peace for you. Teja Bhimanam Kulagotra Shrameshwa Adrashava Shriteshu Lingasya Dharmanapi Karkrutadin Tatva Bhava Khanda Sukha Swarupa again and again and again and again, gross and subtle, they appear again and again. So, in Kula, Gotra, Nama, Rupa, Ashrameshu. Kula means the family, Gotra means from the uh, originator of the family, it is counted as Gotra. Your name, your form, and the state of life, Brahmachari, Grasthana, Prastha, Sanya. In all this, Ardra Shava Ashriteshu, they all pertain to the rotten corpse. Body is taken to be the corpse, and it is old, so it is called rotten corpse. Ardra Shava Shriteshu. Based upon that, Ashrita of that body is all this. Kula Gotra Nama Rupa Ashrama. So give it up. Lingasya Dharmanapi. When this gross thing is given up, in, in the mind there will shine the Sukshma Sharira called Linga, and it has its own characteristics. Doer and experiencer belong to this Sukshma Sharira. They belong to the mind, the mental being, that I am the doer and I am the experiencer. That also has to be given up. Then only you will become the Akhanda Sukha Swarup. The nature of the unbroken bliss will be yours only when all this you are removed, the gross body and the subtle body. Antenne pratibandha punsa sansara hetavo drishta tesham evam moolam prathama vikaro bhavati ahankara. Now in the last several shlokas and some further shlokas, the main point to be hit or attacked is this ego. This arm appears as Brahman, this arm appears as body on one side, and it is this arm which is unreal, which has to be removed to get at the Brahman as my eye. That eye which says Am Brahmasmi is very different. This eye. Now Shankar is attacking on this eye continuously. He says there are other bondages which are the cause of transmigration. We can see some other bondages again for the man of effort, but the root of all those bondages is this first derivative of ignorance or wrong knowledge, that is this ego. This ego is the first result of the wrong knowledge, and that is at the root of all other causes of bondage which we experience in our life. Desires, imperfection, they all come from this ego. यावत् स्यास्यस्व संबंधो अहंकारेण दुरात्मना तावन्न लेशमात्रापि मुक्तिर्वार्ता विलक्षणा. So a test is given. So long as there is this I, mukti is far off. Yavat syat swasya sambandho. So long as with you, with your real nature, there is a connection with this ego. This ego is a bad person, is a villain, duratmana. So long as your real nature is associated or as the superimposition of this I, up till then, even Lesha Matra, not even a cent of mukti will come to you, which is completely different in characteristics from the Vilakshana. So we have seen this, that different, nothing, because one without a second. But the characteristics are different. So the characteristics of mukti are different. So long as this my real nature becomes associated with this I, so long as there is no chance of any mukti or liberation being achieved. Ahankara grahan mukta swarupam upapaddate. Chandravod Vimala Purna Sadananda Swayamprabha. We know the old concept that the moon, which undergoes eclipse, is due to a graha called Rahu. Ahankara Grahat Mukta. This Ahankara is like Rahu, which does not allow the moon of the real self to shine. When it becomes free from that, Sarupam Upapaddhate. We'll have our real nature only when we come out of this Rahu of ego. Like the moon coming out, full of joy, full of self-luminosity and eternal joy, will be the result of that I, real I, when this I is given away. Yoga pure swamiti pratito buddhya prakrupta tamasati mudaya tasaiva nisheshataya vinashe brahmatma bhava pratibandha shunya. In whatever body, maybe gross or subtle or mental or psychological, I am that is our feeling due to our ego in intervening. That is the absolute foolishness. To destroy that totally forever, only if Brahmatma Bhav, my reality as Brahman, without any obstruction, should always shine. So the upaya is only thinking of Brahman. That itself will slowly destroy all this so-called identification with Brahman. Now, one allegorical description, Brahmananda Nidhir Mahabalavata Hankara Ghorahina Samveshtatmane Rakshate Gunamaye Kandastribir Mastakai Vigyanakhyamahasina Shrutimata Vichibde Shatrayam Nirmulyadhi Mimam Nidim Sukakaram Dhiro Anubhoktum Kshamaha. Some more qualities are being described. Dhira, tenacity, perseverance is necessary. Again and again, these old sanskaras are coming. Now, Brahmananda is like great treasure, but that has been protected by or hidden from our view by Ahankara Ghora Ahina, this terrible serpent of Ahankara. Generally, it is found that the serpents protect the properties. So that allegory is used. The serpent of I is a terrible snake and it is hiding the Brahmananda from us. Samveshti Atmani Rakshate Gunamayi. Now this Aham is Sattvic, Rajasic or Tamasic. So it has three heads, that snake, and it envelops our real nature, and that is why it protects the false I. We have to take the sword of realization, that great sword, Shruti Mata, those who have faith in scriptures, Vichidya Shirshatrayam. We have to destroy the three heads of the Jagrat Sapna Sushupti I. Nirmulya, Nirmulya Ahi Memam Nidim Sukhakaram. This serpent is covering our real nature, which is like a treasure. If we have tenacity enough, if we have perseverance enough, then only we can enjoy this real nature of ours. यावद्वा यत् किंचित विषदोष स्फूर्तिरस्ति चेत् देहे कथम आरोग्याय भवेत् तद्वत् अंतापि योगिनो मुक्त्यै. in our body, so long as some imperfection has remained, then how we can be fully healthy? Tadvat. Like that, here also, in Yogi's Mukti, no imperfection should remain. No disease should remain in our body. Similarly, in realization of Atman, no vritti or no modification should remain. अहमोत्यंत निर्वृत्या तत्कृत नाना विकल्प संवृत्या प्रत्यक तत्व विवेकाद इदम अहम अस्मीति विन्दते तत्वम. Aham should totally go. And due to aham, so many doubts and sankalpas are coming. But if we use discrimination from the reality which we feel inside, which comes in the form of I and mine, if we can remove that, then only Tattva means the reality is known. Reality is known only when this wrong I has been removed. Ahankar, this all shlokas are hitting only on one point, the Ahankar. Ahankare kartari ahamiti matim muncha sahasa विकारात्मन्यात्म प्रतिफल स्वस्थिति मुषि यदध्यासात् प्राप्त जनिमृत्यु जरा दुख बहुला प्रति प्रति चिन्मूर्ते चिन्मूर्ते तव सुखतनो संस्कृतिरियम. This is the transmigration of yourself. Kartari matim, I am the doer. This comes about the ego. You must give it up immediately. Whatever modifications come as the fruits of this, they will go away if you can remove this swasthiti mushi, and then you can realize your own real nature. Because of the superimposition upon what this birth and death and jara and dukkha, this is the superimposition in the east side of Murti, yours. There you will have the happy body, there you will be free from transmigration. सदैक रूपस्य चिदात्मनो विभोर आनंद मूर्तेर अनवद्य कीर्ते नैवान्यथा काप्य विकारी नस्ते विना मध्यासममुष्य संस्कृति. That which has only the form of Sat, the Chaitanya, the all-pervading, the bliss, which has no blemish. Apart from that, any change, and without any change, this change is causing me transmigration. Tasmat ahankaramimam sashatrum bhoktur gale kantaka vat pratitam vichidya vijnana mahasinasputam bhungshvatma samrajya sukham yatheshtam. So you enjoy your own real happiness, your own kingdom. This, your enemy is this ahankar. In the experiencer, as if a thorn is stuck in his throat. If a thorn gets stuck in the throat, we cannot eat, we cannot live. Like that, this ahankara is stuck in our throat. By the Vijnana Mahasi, by the experience which you are having, if you can cut it, then clearly will be your Samrajya Sukha Yatheshtam bhaja. At your leisure, you can enjoy this Samrajya Sukha. Tatoha Mader Vinivartya Vrittim Santyakta Rama Santyakta Raga Paramartha Labhat Tushnim Samasvatma Sukha Anubhutya Purnatmana Brahmani Nirvikalpa. Therefore, remove your vritti from this aham and its associate. Give up the attachment to aham and its associate by the power of the reality gained by you. Then only you can be quiet. Then only you can get your Atma Sukha, and then only you can stay in this Nirvikalpa with full knowledge. Samula Kruttopi Mahan Aham Puna Vilekhita Syat Yadi Cheta Sakshanam Sanjeevya Vikshepa Karoti Navasvata Pravrushivarido Yatha Samula Kruttopi Mahan Aham Puna. Samula Kruttopi is appearance. We feel that we have removed it from root. But again, Ullekita Syat Cheta Sakshanam. If even for a moment it rises again in the chitta, then it will create thousands of distractions. As in the rainy season, in the sky we see clouds. Like that, the mind will be fully clouded by this aham. Even if it comes, even if we feel it is gone, it has not gone, it will come again. So we are being warned against that. Nigruya shatror ahamo vakasha pachinna devo vishayanu chintaya saeva sanjeevana heturasya prakshina jambira tarori vambu. No scope should be given for this aham. We should hold it, captivate it. If you think of any object, the ego will rise. Ego is always in relation to some object. It is a subject in relation to some object. So if you pay attention to some object even a little, you will find that it has Sanjeevana. It is like giving it life again. Now there is a tree and it is almost dried. But if you put water, it will come again. If it is almost dried, if it is dead, then it will not come. So this aham is hiding. It is very low in intensity, but it is there. And if you think of some object, you are giving scope to it and it comes up again. So all this series is only for destruction of ego. Dehat mana sanstita eva kami vilakshana kamayita katham syat अतोर्थ संधान परत त्वमेव भेद प्रसक्त्या भवबंध हेतु देहात्मना संस्थित एव kami. When we take body as myself, then only the desires arise. Vilakshana. Suppose we are different from this, how can we have desire? If we are not body, how can we have desire? Therefore, artha sandhana paratvam eva, it is always seeking some object to enjoy. It is always seeking some object to enjoy. And then the difference between subject and object, we are attached to that, and that is the cause of our bhavabandha. The bondage of the world is due to subject object consciousness, this difference, and if we are attracted to some object, this subject comes up. कार्य प्रवर्धनात् बीज प्रवृत्ति परिदृश्यते कार्यनाशात् बीजनाशा तस्मात् कार्यम निरोधयेत्. Seed is there and it gives plant. If that plant is not allowed to grow, then the seed will also get destroyed. If the karya is grown, then the bija will also grow. That is what we see in the world. So if you can destroy the objects which you are perceiving, if we can see the unreality of the objects which you are perceiving, then the seed also will go. The seed of the desire also will go. That is how one should nirodha. Check, stop our tendency to catch objects. Both sides. Ego has to be given up, Indriya Chanchal has to be given up. On the other side, objects have to be given up, desire for objects have to be given up, then only we come to a standstill. Vasana vruddhita karyam, karya vruddhya cha vasana, that is described here. Vardhate sarvata punsa sansaro na nivartate. When the desire grows, we seek some object. If the object attracts us, the desire grows. And then the transmigration will not stop. The sansar will continue. It is a vicious circle. If we allow the desire, then we will run after objects. If object attracts us, the desires will grow. So they are mutually related. Sansara bandha vichitte tadvayam pradahed yati vasana vruddhi etabhyam chintaya kriyaya bahi. If you want to destroy the sansara bandhan, both of them should be given up. Vasana and chinta are thought of objects. Chintaya kriyaya bhayi. Bhairmukha vrutti, if we think of something, then it grows. So thinking of objects should to be stopped. The externalization of mind should be stopped. Action and chinta both should be stopped. And if desires grow, then both of them will come. If desires grow, then the chinta and action both will come. So both of them have to be destroyed if you want this sansara to go away from you. Abhyam pravardhamanasa sute sanskriti matmana त्रयाणाम च क्षयोपाय सर्वावस्थासु सर्वदा सर्वत्र सर्वथा सर्व ब्रह्म मात्रावलोकने सद्भाव वासना दार्ढ्या तत्रयम लयम अश्नुते. Now the important point is the reality of Brahman is stronger than any unreal thing. So one should give up this, one should give up this. How? By sticking to the awareness of Brahman. So this Nididasa is not only giving up, it is both sides. My Guru used to say Anurag and Virat. We have the love to the reality, then only we get Vairagya for the object. And unless we have Vairagya for the object, the real love for the reality does not grow. So here he has brought this point. Abhyam pravardhamanasa. Abhyam means desire, thinking, and kriya. If they grow, Atmana Sanskritim Sute. So the transmigration of the soul is born. Rayanam cha kshayopaya. All these three, desire, chinta and action can go. Sarva avastasu sarvada sarvatra sarvata sarva brahma matra lokane. See that Brahman is everything in all conditions, in all times, in all places, from everywhere. Everywhere, if we can see, perceive, that is Brahman which has appeared of all this, then that Sadbhava Vasana, that impression becomes stronger and stronger in you. The impression of Brahman becomes stronger and stronger in you. And then this desire and the thought and action, all three will vanish. So that is more powerful than them, but it has to be used. Repeatedly we have to feel we are Brahman, and then only all these threes will go. क्रिया नाशे भवेत् चिंता नाशो अस्माद् वासनाक्षया वासना प्रक्षयो मोक्ष सा जीवन मुक्तिरिष्यते. If you stop the actions, then slowly the thoughts also will go, then the desires also will go, and the vanishing of desires is called moksha. And that is the Jivan Mukti, the state of Mukti in life. So here, a break or a culmination like he has brought, though he will continue this for some more time, of how sticking to the realization and finding the unreality of everything else, we have to go on practicing this Nididhasan for a pretty long time. That also we are seeing through the shlokas that it does not go quickly. He has said very balavati, anadi vasana, and so we have to struggle. That is Nididhasan. And that is why this life of Nididhasan becomes an absolute necessity in the life of one who is seeking liberation. No halfway house is allowed here. So, we have read up to Shloka 317 today. We shall see that very thing further next term. Om Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tama Gocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyam Om Shanti 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 Hare Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanam.